Now, this is the third video for this week. So, in this video, we'll be looking at epistemology. Alright, so what is epistemology? Epistemology merujuk kepada study tentang ilmu, tentang pengetahuan. Cara kita dapatkan pengetahuan, cara kita mengesahkan pengetahuan, cara kita berfikir tentang pengetahuan ataupun ilmu yang kita dapat. So, dalam video ni kita akan tengok beberapa nama berbeza yang akan muncul. So, the first name that will show up is Descartes. Descartes. I actually go and Google how to read this appropriately. So, you might be familiar with this term, cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. So, what does this mean by cogito ergo sum? Descartes thinks a lot about things. Now, he believes in this particular query. When we seek knowledge, is there anything about that knowledge that we can be certain of? Kalau orang Singapura, double confirm. Kalau Descartes, maybe confirm. So everything that you have in terms of your ilmu, you have to be very certain that it's there. So how did Descartes came to this particular thought? First, you need to have doubts. You kena ragu-ragu terhadap perkara tersebut. So Descartes is doubtful of the world, what he sees, what he believes in, what he hears, and then he started to doubt himself. Dia meragu-ragukan dirinya sendiri. Do I exist? So if I exist, how do I prove that I exist? Am I a robot or am I a piece of paper? Or as in the current situation, am I talking to a robot? So if you're an iPhone user, for example, you can just talk to Siri, ask Siri to search for certain things. Siri will get it for you. The same as Android through Google. So at the end of the day, for Descartes, um, you need to find ways to prove that whatever that you see, whatever that you hear, whatever that is here in the head is true. So, satu aplikasi untuk Descartes prinsip ialah digunakan kat court. Kalau kat mahkamah, lawyer-lawyer yang bersidang kat mahkamah, kerja mereka bukan cari bukan on the surface level tolong klien menang, tapi kerja sebenar seorang lawyer ialah untuk mencari loophole, kelopongan, gaps. Kenapa kes ni boleh diragui? That's the application part of Descartes' cogito ergo sum. Now, this is the second name that you see in the video, George Berkeley. So, he also think about knowledge, and he believes in this. Esse est percipi. Not sure if I got it right pronunciation-wise, but essentially what it means is to be is to be perceived. Perceive ni melihat, memikirkan, mendengar. So how do we do all that fikir, dengar, lihat? For Berkeley, his philosophy about epistemology can be summed up by SpongeBob SquarePants meme lah. It's all here in your head. So for Berkeley, the first step in understanding something, uh, knowledge-wise, is God. God has to make you see what you need to see. Then you move on to the next step. The next step is actually your senses. This is where your hearing, your sense, your touch, your eyes, your nose, and then your tongue, the five senses. You use them to understand what God is trying to let you see. After you try to make sense of things, this is the last step. You started to use your mind to think about what you see, what you hear, what you taste, and then you use your mind to come up with sentences to describe what God is trying to let you see. Very beautiful, right? Berkeley's concept on epistemology. So, Berkeley believes that we are all empiricists. Uh, what is the method used? The scientific method. I think you are quite familiar with this. So we started with having an observation and then thinking about the question that we want to solve or the issue that we want to understand. And then we look at what kind of things that we can do in order to solve the question that we have. You do the experiment, you prove the results, get it, and then you do your conclusion based on the findings that you have. So this is the third name that you see in this presentation, David Hume. David Hume believes that you can believe in miracles, but you can only do that if all the explanation that you in order to explain the miracle um, cannot be happening. Now, this is name number 4 in this presentation, Immanuel Kant. Kant is a pretty famous philosopher. Now, his base contribution uh, under epistemology is this term, das Ding an sich, roughly translated to the thing in itself. So, kita cari contoh untuk explain Kant punya konsep. So, dalam gambar ni, kita ada sebiji apple. So, apple ni apple merah. Tak tahu jenis apple apa. Now, kalau ikut apa yang dipercayai oleh Kant, kita ada dua soalan yang tak sama untuk memikirkan pasal ilmu atau pengetahuan. So, soalan yang pertama, what sensory phenomena are you experiencing? Maksudnya kat sini, apa yang anda lihat, rasa, dengar, bau, apakah yang anda dapat rasa melalui deria-deria penglihatan, pendengaran, dan deria-deria lain. So that is question number 1. Question number 2, what is it that you see beyond the appearance? Apa yang anda boleh lihat ataupun boleh fahamkan tentang sesuatu perkara ataupun sesuatu benda tersebut di sebalik gaya rupa ataupun wajah ataupun image yang anda nampak di depan. So in the case of this apple, if you only rely on your eyes, you see a red apple. If you rely on your taste, you you bite into an apple and then you realize, oh, that's an apple. But if you look beyond the red color, if you look beyond the taste of the apple, then you would see, probably, that's for me, that's my dinner by the way, a 52 calorie dessert. So kalori ni kita tak nampak. So that is beyond your sensories. Tapi apple, warna merah dia, rasa dia, kita boleh nampak, kita boleh rasa. So kalau ikut apa yang dipercayai oleh Kant, pengetahuan tu dia ada terbahagi kepada dua bentuk. Bentuk yang you boleh nampak, boleh dengar, boleh lihat, dengan bentuk yang you tak boleh nampak. So how do you translate that into terms in philosophy? So you need to remember there are two terms here, a priori and a posteriori. So a priori ni fakta, a posteriori ni huraian ataupun pengamatan yang you nampak ataupun dapat hasil daripada dari bau, dari rasa, dari sentuh, pendengaran dan lain-lain. So, what is the direct application of epistemology today in our lives? So, I think you are familiar with these two channels, National Geographic channel and also Discovery channel. My favorite is Discovery, but sometimes I go watch another channel, History channel. The application of epistemology, direct application, is actually what we call phenomenology. So phenomenology is actually a method where you record what you see, you record what you hear, you record and describe what is it that you observe through your senses. In other words, to put yourself in another person's shoe. Phenomenology is also a research method where you go and interview your participants, and then you think, okay, if I were to be this participant A who experienced certain things that happened to him or her, how would I feel? What would I do? So this is direct application of epistemology called phenomenology. So that's it for this video. In the next video, I'm going to describe another branch of philosophy called axiology. See you later.